Hey everyone, welcome back. Quick heads up, this one gets spicy. Today I'm sharing the story of how he took his friend to a concert, and I calmly showed up with the divorce lawyer and front row tickets. Buckle up, there's betrayal, public drama, and a little delicious payback. So let me set the scene for you. On the outside, our marriage looked, well, normal, ordinary. We had the whole suburban dream package, a decent house, a couple of cars, Friday night takeout, Netflix binges on the couch. People who saw us probably thought, oh, they're such a stable couple. And honestly, for a while, I thought so too. My husband, let's call him Mark, played his role like a pro. He worked hard, he came home most nights at a reasonable hour, and sometimes he even brought flowers or surprised me with dinner. Nothing extravagant, just enough to make me believe he cared, to make me think I was lucky. But here's the catch. There was always her. His so-called friend. Depending on the audience, she was either his old childhood buddy or just a work colleague. You know the type. A little too available, a little too quick to text back, and way too present in stories where she had no business being. At first, I brushed it off. I wanted to trust him. I wanted to believe that marriages could survive platonic friendships. But deep down, something felt off. You know that gut feeling you can't shake, the one that whispers, "This isn't right?" Yeah. Mine was screaming at me, but I kept shoving it down, telling myself not to be paranoid. On the surface, I played the part of the trusting wife. But underneath, I was already taking mental notes. It didn't take long for the little signs to start piling up. Mark began working late more often, always with that same friend. At first, it seemed innocent enough. People do have friends, right? But then came the concert tickets. Out of nowhere, he was buying tickets for shows left and right. Big-name concerts, VIP packages, meet-and-greet passes, and somehow I was always conveniently too busy or not into that band. You wouldn't enjoy it, he'd say. It's really their scene, not yours. Or, don't worry, it's just for work. I'm taking a friend. And my favorite, it's a little gift for a friend. Just being nice. Oh, sure, Mark. Totally altruistic, using our money to impress literally everyone else in your life except your wife. Naturally, my sarcasm grew like a weed. Every time he left, I'd mutter under my breath, "Yeah, sure. He's just a generous guy, giving out expensive tickets to everyone, except me." But I stayed calm, played the part of the unsuspecting, trusting wife. Because sometimes, the best revenge begins quietly, while the cheater is too busy showing off. The first undeniable proof hit me like a ton of bricks, completely by accident. I was scrolling through my emails, deleting the usual junk, when one subject line caught my eye: VIP confirmation, concert tickets. My heart skipped a beat. I clicked it, expecting maybe a work receipt or something mundane, and there it was. 2 front row tickets, under his name. For him and her. I couldn't believe it at first. I double-checked the date, the venue, even the seat numbers. Yep, right there in black and white. Mark and Lisa, VIP section, row A, seats 1 and 2. My stomach turned. This wasn't just a casual night out. This was a full-on romantic concert night. And apparently I wasn't invited. I felt a mix of anger, disbelief, and this strange, thrilling clarity. My intuition had been screaming at me for weeks, and now the proof was undeniable. He was literally taking his side chick to a VIP concert, our money, our time, and everything we shared thrown out the window for a night with her. For a moment, I sat there staring at the screen, breathing heavily, trying to decide if I should confront him immediately or wait. And then a little voice in my head said, "No, wait, this is too perfect. You're going to turn this into a masterpiece." I could have confronted him immediately, yelled, thrown things, made a scene, the classic angry wife route. But where's the satisfaction in that? No, I wanted something bigger, something cinematic, something unforgettable. So I started planning. First, I bought the best seats in the house, front row, right by the stage. Every time he looked out from his mid-level section, I wanted him to see me there, glowing, confident, untouchable. And yes, I used our money, his own cash, really, to buy them. I smiled to myself at the irony. Next step, the lawyer. I called my divorce attorney, explained the situation, and set up a meeting precisely on the night of the concert. I even arranged for the lawyer to arrive a little early so our grand entrance would be perfectly timed. And honestly, I laughed out loud while planning it. If you're going to make a show, I thought, make it a show with a lawyer and the best seats in the house. Everything was lining up perfectly. The timing, the seats, the shock factor. By the time the concert started, I would be the main event. And he would be the unwitting audience. The night of the concert arrived, and Mark was, of course, acting like he had some important work meeting. He kissed me on the cheek, said something vague like, "Don't wait up, honey, late night," and strutted out the door, oblivious to the storm brewing. Meanwhile, I was having the time of my life getting ready. I pulled out my favorite dress, bold, stylish, and confident, the kind that makes people take notice. Perfect hair, perfect shoes, perfect smirk. I wasn't just attending a concert, I was about to make an entrance. My lawyer and I arrived together. The front row tickets gleamed in my hands, and I felt a rush of adrenaline I hadn't felt in years. Anger, excitement, and sheer giddy satisfaction swirled together. Walking into the arena, taking our seats right at the front, I felt untouchable. The lights, the music, the crowd, it all amplified my heartbeat. I was ready. The main act wasn't on the stage that night. It was about to be me. The lights dimmed, and the crowd erupted as the first chords filled the arena. The performers appeared, the music booming, and the energy was electric. And then, he saw me. Mark and Lisa were seated in their VIP section, a few rows up, grinning at each other, thinking they were having the perfect night. But then his eyes landed on me. Right there, in the front row, glowing under the lights, confident, untouchable. His jaw literally dropped. I saw it. Complete shock, panic, and an almost cartoonish awkwardness. Lisa leaned in, whispering, "Who is that?" And the truth hit her like a brick. There was no denying it. I smiled. My lawyer subtly reached into his briefcase and pulled out the divorce documents, placing them conspicuously on the seat beside me. Front row seats, a glowing wife, and a lawyer holding the ultimate proof. It was cinematic perfection. I could feel every heartbeat, every gasp from the crowd around me, every flicker of recognition in their eyes. The power in that moment was intoxicating. Mark had planned a romantic evening. I turned it into his public reckoning. I watched him freeze in his seat, eyes wide, mouth slightly open, as if the air itself had betrayed him. The realization hit him hard. The wife he thought was busy at home was right there in front of everyone, in the best seats, smirking. People nearby started whispering, turning their heads, glancing between him and me. You could feel the tension ripple through the crowd. It was subtle, yet devastating, like watching a house of cards collapse in slow motion. And I couldn't help the small, sarcastic chuckle that escaped me. He wanted a show. I thought, well, congratulations. Show received. I leaned back, sipping my drink, enjoying every second of the performance. The music washed over me, but my eyes kept drifting to him. He slouched, muttered under. His breath tried to act casual, but the shame was etched all over his face. This was my moment. The betrayal exposed, the lies unraveled, and the cheater humbled right where everyone could see. And I was alive with satisfaction, feeling a sweet mix of triumph and liberation. The next day, Mark tried to explain himself. "It's just a friend," he stammered. "Nothing happened, I swear." But I just smiled. The documents had already been filed. The divorce process was officially underway, and there was no turning back. Word spread fast. Friends, colleagues, even family members started piecing things together. Suddenly, the perfect marriage illusion shattered, and everyone could see the truth. His carefully crafted image of a devoted husband crumbled in the harsh light of reality. As for Lisa, she vanished almost overnight. No calls, no texts, no sightings at the office. Apparently, the shock of public humiliation and the involvement of a lawyer made her reconsider her position. She wasn't part of the show anymore. I, on the other hand, felt a strange sense of liberation. The betrayal was exposed, the liar confronted, and my life reclaimed. Mark's world had been flipped upside down, and I was standing tall, victorious, and more confident than ever. After that night, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. It was as if all the lies, the sneaky texts, the late-night work meetings had finally been exposed and I could breathe again. There was a deep sense of satisfaction, sweet, almost guilty pleasure, from knowing that my carefully planned revenge had landed perfectly. I didn't just get to witness his shock. I reclaimed my power, my dignity, and my voice. From that moment, my life began to shift. I started valuing myself more, setting new boundaries, and making plans that centered around me instead of him. I met new people, rediscovered old hobbies, and even started looking forward to adventures that had nothing to do with Mark. For the first time in a long while, I felt truly free. Free from the betrayal, free from the lies, and free to right the lie. Next chapter of my life on my own terms. So, that's my story. I have to ask you, would you ever risk a public revenge like this? Or would you quietly file for divorce and move on? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks so much for watching. Stay strong, stay smart, and I'll see you next time.